It's 7:30 and it's super cold. It's like the coldest day of the Lunar New Year. It's like 10 degrees and it's raining. Oh. I recently came across this article that said the whole point of education is to teach the truth. And lately, I don't even know what the truth is anymore. The current rhetoric is that what truth is subjective. So instead, I'm unpacking not what it is, but rather who it is. Therefore, the more valid question as I go through this process of getting to know myself better is who is the truth? The reason why this question is a valid one to ask is as I've quieted down and, in Daniel Brown's words, reduce the sensory input so as to gain insight into myself, I have increasingly become aware of the identity lies that I'm living from. When you attend to your inner voice, more often than not, it is a voice of criticism, and one that's ready to attack you if you don't get to know it better so that you can change it. An identity lie that I've been struggling with is that I'm not worth anything, that I'm not worth listening to, that I'm not worth showing up for. So how do I change this? I have to speak the truth of who and whose I am into it. Back to the question, who is the truth? And more importantly, who is the answer?
In John 14, verse 6, Jesus says he is the way, the truth, and the life. And because I am made in the image and likeness of God, who is truth and love, then the truth of who I am is that I was made by love, for love, to love. Which, all things considered, is pretty mind-blowing if I look up what love is. And according to St. Paul in his first letter to the Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
It's a pretty tall order to try and live out, but at least I now have this truth to counter the identity lies that have been attacking me for so long. With this framework, the challenge now becomes, how can I live this truth out in my everyday life? What does it look like in how I behave, in how I relate to other people, in my words, in my thoughts, in how I feel? So what's an identity lie you've been struggling with? I invite you to go back to John 14, verse 6. I'm going to go back to that passage a lot. Jesus says he is the way and the truth and the life. And so the pressure's off. I don't have to figure it out on my own or by myself. And so it's not just up to me, it's not just up to you. We're in this together. If we remember in whose image and likeness we were made, and that is of love, and we keep the working definition of love at the forefront of our minds, then we can figure out how to behave, right? As an educator, the question is, why are there so many cars? So how do I change? These buses are so loud.